Hey everyone, in today's video, I'm going to show you two methods to overwinter and store your Alocasias and Colocasias, more commonly known as elephant ears. Hey there, it's Tanya. Welcome back to my garden. And before I jump into the methods, I just want to talk a little bit about these plants. These elephant ears, they grow on corms or tubers. So the tubers can actually be stored downstairs in a basement, similar to the way dahlias are, for example. So I'm actually going to be digging out this plant, and the two methods we'll be covering today are the storage methods. And then the other method I'm going to show you involves basically treating these as a house plant. So I'm going to try both of these. Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to do, I am going to trim away some of these leaves, as painful as that is, because they are actually looking still quite beautiful, even though we've had a few light frosts here. I'm in zone 5B/6. So I will be cutting these away, but as you can see down here, the plant has matured quite nicely. It is quite large, and there's actually a few baby plants as well. So I'll be digging those out too. So I want to zoom in here to show you that we really want to get a few inches away from the plant itself, just to prevent any damage to the tuber. We don't want to nick or dent the tuber. This can lead to rot or other fungal issues and really compromise the ability for the actual tuber to store and preserve over winter. So I'm going to go ahead and start digging around the base of the plant, just being gentle. And I'm about 3 inches away from the plant. And I can, as I'm putting pressure, I can actually feel roots kind of being torn a little bit, but I don't feel a hard surface, so I'm not actually puncturing the tuber itself. I'm going to go ahead and keep working on this until these plants loosen and the tubers loosen. It does take a little bit of elbow grease to get in there, but taking the time to do this really makes sure that the tuber itself is not damaged. Because I want to make sure that I can plant this up next spring and have as beautiful of plants to look at. Okay, so I can see it loosening here. There it goes. I want to get a close-up for you so that way you can see the root structure itself. As you can see, there are many roots here, and all of these roots can be snipped away. And what I'm going to do now is actually shake away all of the dirt and try to divide some of these tubers. Because like I said, I am going to bring in some of these as houseplants. I'd like to enjoy them over the winter. So I'm going to continue working on this, shaking away the dirt from this, and try to separate these tubers without compromising or breaking one of them. So here, this one is coming apart pretty nicely. Here we go. So here you can see this one broke away pretty nicely. I do see that the corm or tuber is nicked slightly. But I will go ahead and just shake off the excess dirt. These roots can also be trimmed away. I'm going to let this dry out a little bit, and then once that is dry, I will go ahead and trim these off. So here are some babies that I'm going to try to grow as houseplants if I can separate them from the larger tuber without damaging them. So here, I am not sure if these will be successful, but I do see roots. I see very small tubers. So I'm going to go ahead and plant these up and see how they do in my indoor living space. So this is one method. I can pot this up like this and treat this as a house plant. The other method I mentioned involves a box or a crate of some kind. I've got a crate here. I am going to go ahead and place these individual tubers into the crate, let it dry out, and then I will go ahead and snip off the leaves and cut away the roots. Okay, so here I have this tuber here. You can see this is the actual tuber itself. I'm trying to get as much dirt off of this as possible. And then what I'm going to do is snip away these roots. These are actually no longer needed. Okay, so now I'm left with a much cleaner tuber. As this continues to dry, the tuber or the dirt will, just continue to fall off, and I will shake it off, and then I'm going to let it dry out for a bit and then place it into a cardboard box. So here's a good example of this houseplant that I've potted up from 2 little baby elephant ears, and I will put these under grow lights, water them in nicely, and treat them as houseplants over the winter. And then I can plant these out in the springtime. And here's a good look at the actual tubers themselves placed into the crate box, which is where I'll be storing these in the basement. I'm going to let them dry and then we'll cut off the leaves. I want to leave the leaves on for a little bit just to let the energy of the plant go down into the root to create a stronger plant in the spring. And then I will go ahead and plant these up in the springtime. Okay, so those are the 2 methods for overwintering our elephant ears. They're pretty simple. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.